Thank you, Aldo. That was excellent. And so now we'll move into our next session, commercial laminating for high value print. And with that, I'd like to welcome Jordy from Bagel Systems. Bagel is one of the leading developers of lamination equipment based in Spain, and they're the North American distributor for them. Jordy, are you there? While we wait for Jordy to jump online here, we've been partnering with Bagel Systems for a number of years now. We have a lot of their installations throughout North America, and they've been a great laminator. Single-sided, large commercial lamination units. So we're just going to do some quick demos of the equipment and show you some of the things that it can do while we work to continue to be your wingman. And ScanDecor wants to make sure that you guys, as our partners out there, as our clients, that you're developing and you're building that high value print that puts more money to your bottom line.
Sindel, I think you have a video on the DigiFav demo that we can go ahead and play at this time.
Here to do a live demonstration of the Bagel DigiFav B2 laminator. Now this machine is a commercial laminator in the B2 format. That means it'll run a 20.8 by 29.5 inch sheet. It's down to an 8.5 by 8.5 sheet. Great fit for anybody who's running digital and half sheet offset, or perhaps has a newer engine like the 10,000, HP 10,000 running a half sheet. So as we see digital sheets grow, we're seeing people opt for this machine because it can handle that half sheet size. So Bagel Systems, based in Spain, as you already know, very robust, reliable machines designed from the ground up to be simple, easy to use, and very durable. So this machine will run about 82 feet a minute, 25 meters, which will give you just under 5,000 12 by 18s an hour run the landscape direction. It'll give you actually 4,920 to be precise. It's unique in the fact that it has a dual feeding head system here, a very efficient feeder, which we'll get into more detail momentarily. A positive paper traction system, best in the industry for accelerating sheets after we fed them. A nip roller system that contains a oil heated roller in a high pressure nip roller on the bottom. So the oil heater in the top nip roller is really unique. It's a self-contained system, so there's no hoses going to external heaters, anything like that. It's far more efficient than traditional electric heaters that are stuck inside a steel roller. If you think about this, oil takes heat and it retains it very efficiently. And once it's up to temperature, it does not take a whole lot of energy to maintain that temperature of the oil. Competitive machines to the Bagel have a hollow steel roller with a heating element inside, and they rely on air to transfer the heat from the heating element to the shell. And you can watch them, the heaters are kicking on continually trying to maintain that temperature. So this system warms up in about 10 to 15 minutes, a bit longer than electric systems. However, it runs on very little energy and maintains that temperature flawlessly throughout the run. It also is very efficient in making sure that the outside of that metal roller is the same temperature as the inside, because it's in constant contact always. The oil stays in the same position as the roller turns. You'll see on the back of the machine another feature that's unique to the Bagel Systems in this price range is the Cantilevered Air Shaft. Now the air shaft system relies on a bladder inside the roller to blow up and hold the film in place. I'll also show you that it's a cantilever design that makes it very simple to load film, which I'll show you in a minute. But it just opens right up like that. You'll notice there's no metal cones or parts. I don't need an Allen key. Nothing that I can drop on a touch screen and crack it. We've seen that happen before. Nothing can drop on my floor or my toe and break. It's a really simple design. We'll change the film out in a minute. And then we have a bursting system in the back here that separates the sheets very efficiently. We've successfully run nylon in these machines, no problem. And then in the back here, you can't really tell what it is right now, but you'll see later on, this is a take-up motor for the Sleek Pro technology, so we can also do digital foil embellishments on this machine as well as single-sided laminating. And then I have my exit. Nothing exciting there. So what I'm going to do is get another camera here, and then I'll kind of do a detailed view of the different parts of the machine so you guys can see a close-up of it. Okay, so let's start with the overview of the machine. We're at the back here at the pile feeder, and this is a really unique feeder for a couple reasons. The first being that we actually have two feeding heads here. So on the back, you can see we have a traditional press style feeding head that actually lifts and separates the pile. On the front, you'll see that we have a belt system here that picks the sheets up and transports them into the laminator. Now this belt is unique in the fact that it only sucks when it needs to, and it only moves when it needs to. So there's no spinning wheel that's going to scuff up digital stocks unnecessarily when the sheets aren't being fed. Provides an excellent platform for feeding difficult stocks, as well as refeeding single-sided laminated sheets when we're doing a flip and turn to do duplex. Another really unique feature of this feeder is these rollers. It doesn't look really exciting from here, but you can see that there's these yellow belts and these blue wheels here. When those gates drop, they are mechanically 100% connected to these blue wheels, which I can adjust the position and the pressure of. So as soon as that gate drops, let the sheet go into the machine. These blue wheels are 100% engaged, and they accelerate the sheet very efficiently and quickly, so I don't deal with things like gaps between sheets. Let's get a close-up quick of that chrome roller that I was talking about before. You can see the size of it. On the front of the machine here, these are two pressure gauges for the nip roller, and we can balance them left and right to make sure that we have equal pressure across the nip. Have our heat controller there. You can see I have it set at 101 degrees Celsius, and it's holding perfectly at 101.1. And then the heart of the machine is the operator control panel. You can see here everything is icon based, very simple. This is a global machine. Anybody in any language can run this machine. It's completely iconed and number based. You'll also notice that I don't have to, when I run this machine, I'm just going to press this auto button right here. There's nothing else I need to do. I don't need to engage pull rollers, time the burst manually, be throwing levers and catching paper, that kind of thing. It's going to be a press the auto button once it's set up, and all these functions are going to automatically run on the machine. One more detailed view of the air shaft that we talked about before. And you'll see more of this as I run the machine. So I'm going to put this camera down now and get this set up and run some laminating. What I have here today is I have a Soft Pro. It's an ultra grip film, and we're running actually the dividers for the ScanDecor catalog. So you can see they're all different colors in here. Well, if I could do that. So you're running those are printed on a Xerox version 180 with a dry toner. So I'm running the ultra grip adhesive, and which works amazing with the any of the hard to stick to prints. So once again, I'm gonna put this camera down and run the machine. So as I was saying before, to start the machine, I have my paper format, which is 482 millimeters. I have that set into the machine. I have an overlap of 3 millimeters between sheets. And now, to start running, I'm simply going to press the auto button. Hold on to my film shaft here. You can hear the feeder's going to start up, the vacuum pump. It's going to get a little noisy here. Control panel pivots. Simply going to press the scissor button here to start the bursting of the sheets. So two things I did there is I turned the fan on to help deliver the sheets, and I turned the bursting on. So while I did say it was automatic, those two things I do need to do after I start the machine. But they're touching a touch screen just like your smartphone. So that's nice, but let's get it running a little bit faster. So simply just press the plus button on the screen here, and you hear the machine accelerate. Sorry, I got a lot of background noise right now with the compressor just kicked on in the back room. Should shut that off momentarily. Let's see if we can get the top camera here to do a delivery view. Okay, looks good. You can see the sheets coming out here, perfectly separated. So I just increased it from about 5.5 meters per minute. Looks like we're running about 7 at this point. Roughly 21 feet per minute. And I'm going to push it up a bit more. So one thing you'll notice with the bagel machines that I'm actually only at about 100 degrees Celsius. Because they have such phenomenal pressure and such an efficient heating system, we can actually run films at a lower temperature than traditional laminators. Looks like we're down to some white stock here, but I'm going to go ahead and continue to push the machine speed up. So that was 12 meters per minute. Let's switch to overview back to the feeder. It's hard to see on plain white sheets, but the feeder's feeding these flawlessly. So it's running about 15 meters per minute at this point, or about 45 feet, just over. I'm going to go ahead and turn the air off. So what I did just then is I turned the suction off on the feeder, which caused it to misfeed. And because the machine is so automated, it just simply saw that there wasn't a sheet there, and it stopped the machine that fast without there being any wraparound, any adhesive getting on any rollers, anything like that. So One thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about the feeder is that this feeder is so accurate that we are able to butt feed the sheets together. So right now I'm overlapping by 3 millimeters, and it's very precise. It'll do plus or minus about a half a millimeter on that. But when we run into some really thick stocks, let's say maybe 450 GSM, it's very difficult if you take 450 GSM paper to overlap those sheets and get it through the nip rollers, because it's doubling the thickness when those two pieces of paper try and feed through. So this machine also has a special function that we can turn the sensitivity of the photocell down and actually dial in the exact length of the sheets with thick paper and butt the sheets up to each other and run them through perfectly flat with no overlap. It's really unique because a lot of machines, for instance, that have a flying, they rely on the overlap to separate the sheets, but because this is a bursting system, we don't need that. So we can butt the sheets together, effectively feed them, laminate them, and separate them at 450, and even we've tested up to 600 GSM. So that is out of spec, of course, but just phenomenal what this machine can do. So what I'd like to do now is I'm going to pull the film off. You'll see how this cantilevered air shaft works as I release it. And then I'm going to load this up with the Sleek Pro option. So I'm going to be on and off camera for a minute here while I do the changeover, but it's very fast. So I'm going to start out by just turning my machine, basically all the functions completely off. Pull this back a bit here. Going to bring my foil take up here. This is another mandrel that mounts right on the back. Now let's grab the, excuse me, let's grab the close-up camera again if we can. Let's get it under control first. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we do here to release this mandrel. Simply undo that latch and we can swing it right out. This is really helpful for loading large diameter rolls of film. And then to release it, you'll see on the end there's a little air valve. I simply just poke this to release it. And this bladder has now deflated so that I can slide this roll of film right off the machine. Very simple. Now what I'm going to do is slide this roll of foil on. You can see that I can use these measurements right here to balance it side to side. So I think I need to be about 155-ish, like that. Okay, I'm gonna lock this in. Then on the back of the machine there's this air gun. So I'll take that, put it right in there, pull the trigger, and this roll of film is now locked onto the machine. It will not slide. Now, in case I forgot to mention it earlier, this here is the tension control knob. So I'm going to go ahead and thread this foil up, put the camera back down, and you'll see me, I'm going to thread it through the machine, and then I'm going to tape it on to this take-up roller here. In between there's a small plexiglass plate that I'm going to drop in on the decurling bar here. That decurls laminations. That's down out of the way now. I'm going to drop a plate on there, put the foil onto here, and then we'll talk about changing paper size as I hit my paper for the sleeking is a bit shorter. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unload the feeder here. Simply back this up, go to my next screen, and put it down. This was 1319. The next sheets that I'm going to run are actually 13 by 18. So got to get this paper out of here and reset the feeder. actually going to grab the detail camera again so you can watch what I'm doing here. Okay, so I have my paper stock loaded up and the feeder is not set. I'm simply going to start bringing it up on the screen here until it gets close. I can now slide my feeding head in until I just touch the backs of the sheet, and then come back to the screen and I press auto. It's going to bring those sheets right up to the correct position. Back to my main screen, and this is the screen where I'll press auto to start the machine again. So we're going to drop the detail camera and we'll be back to getting that foil loaded up. So to load the foil, I'm just going to tape a sheet of paper onto the foil to help thread it through. This machine has a special function where I can put the sheet into the nip roller and I can press one button when this cover is open, and it's going to feed the paper just through the nip rollers for me, which is very helpful for trying to load it. So one touch, the rollers drop, cycles it for one turn, close the cover, the paper's now through the nip rollers. Again, going back to Bagel's commitment to being very user-friendly. I brought the sheet out the back of the machine now. Make sure it's nice and smooth. I tightened the tension there to hold the foil from unraveling while I loaded it, so I just tightened that back, loosened that back up a little bit. So now I have my paper loaded up, my foil's threaded. The one thing I need to change is the paper length, so I'm going to go ahead in here and punch in 430 millimeters. So let's go ahead and start the feeder. And I'm going to turn the hot stamp take up on. Okay, let's switch back to the overview camera for a moment so you can see how this looks. I have sheets here with black toner going into the machine. The foil's being applied. You can see here where it's been taken off. And that is the same sheet that went in black with completely silver coverage wherever the toner was. Let's stop the machine for a moment. Just wanted to get one of those sheets out that went in black so we can compare the two. So to my camera above, and then to the main camera here. So you can see this is just 100% K black toner and applied silver foil with the Bagel Systems DigiFab to create variable data foil stamping. Okay, and that's it. That wraps up our DigiFab demo for right now. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you very much, Bob, for that excellent demo. Jordy, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Well, welcome from Spain. I don't know what time is it over there now, Jordy?
It's 6 o'clock at the moment.
6 o'clock in the evening. Well, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to join the Print to Finish webinar. It's exciting to have you on. Tell us a little more. Tell us about Bagel.
No problem. First of all, let me congratulate you, Brad, and also your team of doing this great event. Okay, I think you guys are doing a great promotion here and a great exhibition that you can you guys we can share knowledge across internet. Okay, to end customers, to end printers, and deliver more ideas and more arguments to to develop and kick off on business. Okay, so. That's the first point. Yes, about Bagel. Well, basically, let me give you an introduction, right? That's what you are asking for. Well, Bagel started in 2004. Okay, it's not Bagel. Sorry, Bagel started in 2011. Okay. But however, the team started early on a previous company, okay, specialized also on laminating equipment, right? The times back then in 2004, that's what I meant. The times were good, okay. So we had a lot of demand on in-house laminating equipment, right? Now the market was actually demanding more reliable solutions, more easy to use solutions, okay. That's where actually Bagel Systems was found. Basically, I got together with my current partners, Gabriel, Julian, Ivan, and we started Bagel. Okay. At first, in 2009, and at first it was not an easy job because it was a new company. Okay, and so what we actually did is to provide OEM technology to other clients, okay, other manufacturers, okay. One of our first manufacturers was actually a German company, a company called Ernst Nagel. That's the reason why we call ourselves Bagel, okay, because Nagel comes from Germany, but then BA from Barcelona, we call it ourselves Bagel or Bagel, okay. So that partnership, that OEM supply technology that we delivered to these guys gave us wings, okay, for business. We first did our first solutions with them, but also we expand with new distributors, with new business partners, okay. Until today, as you know, we have worked already with you guys for already 2 years, I believe, and basically here we're committed on innovation. We keep on developing new applications when it comes to laminating quality and reliability, okay? So that's about it. I don't know if I made it as you guys wanted.
No, Jordy, that's excellent. One of the things, as we've never fly solo, you guys, Bagel uses Omron, don't you, as one of your strategic partners for everything to do with the manufacturing of your equipment. Tell us a little about that.
It's a very good point, Brad. We have an internal philosophy. Our suppliers grows with us. Okay, so if we grow, our suppliers grow. Okay, and actually in electronics, we focus a lot on one supplier. Okay, Omron, it's a Japanese company. It's a top 5 worldwide on electronics. We could have chosen another one. Okay, but we said, okay, we go with you guys. We work fully with you, so all the elements of the machine are sourced by them. Okay, and by doing this, okay, we get a lot of, we get, and the end customer gets a lot of benefits. The interaction of the electronics is very, very consistent, very, very high, okay? When there is development, so there is troubleshooting, you've got an homegrown guy in every country. So in Spain, but also in the US, okay? And the reliability, the standardization of these guys that they are working is superb. It's not like you want a replacement is going to phase out. No, these electronics are quite a standard, and you can actually locally buy it, okay? So we're happy. We're very proud with this about this partnership. Already 9 years.
That's excellent. And as our clients watch us go through this, it shows us the strength of ScandiCore because of the strength of what Bagel is for us. Mm-hmm. And you're also backed up by some very strong manufacturers, like you mentioned about Omron. One of the world's leading manufacturers of electronics. Yes. And that is what backs you up. None of us are flying solo here.
No, not at all. Not at all. We'll have good engineers and, good multinationals or, good specialists that are helping us to develop stuff. Okay. So
we jump into the Minilam.
Surely, I made this video, at our facilities, and I explained the Minilam V3, which is a model that you guys are quite satisfied, as I have heard. And please welcome to see this video. Thanks for watching this video. I'm going to present the Minilam V3 V20 from Bagel Systems. First of all, let me introduce myself. This is Jordi Martí. I'm Commercial and Managing Director of this company, Bagel Systems. We are a firm based in Barcelona, specialized on designing and manufacturing laminating thermal equipment for digital and offset printers. Okay. So first of all, let me introduce you and let's go over the Minilam V3. It's a machine that has a maximum format of almost 15 to 28 inches. Okay, that's more or less, that's actually more than enough for the new Xerox iGen 5 out there in the market. I have a maximum mechanical speed of 22 meters. However, production is 50 meters per minute. Okay. The paper weight goes from 130 GSM to 350 GSM. Even though that we can do a little bit more when on request. Okay. Let me just give you a bit of make a short demo on this machine real quick. By the way, it's a fully automatic machine. You will see it immediately. I press the button, the auto button. Go. Okay. You see the feeder acting, picking up the sheets. Okay. All right. So go ahead and increase a little bit the speed. Okay, so you can see the paper flowing into the machine, going through the laminating unit, and afterwards going through the cutter. Okay, very fully automated. Very fully automated. As you can see, very easy to set up and get ready. So with this machine. Just for the sake to explain a little more the features. Okay, excellent. Okay, all right. So, okay, this machine. What you have seen is basically single-side lamination. Okay, but there is a lot more on this machine. There is a lot of configurations that you can aim to. First of all, you can have a double-side lamination, which is basically lamination on top and lamination on the bottom. Okay, I'll show you real quick. If you follow me to the camera, I'll show you real quick what I mean by double-side. Basically, we have another film reel here. Okay, you we load it here. You can see very easy, okay? Then you put the air inside of the expansible shaft, and you have already set up the film on the bottom and ready to laminate double side. In order to take it out, it's also very easy, as you can see. Just a matter of seconds to take the film out and finish. Okay, so that would be one of the configurations on the Minilam V3, which is quite popular and quite productive. We move to the front of the machine. I'll show you another option. The other option is foiling. Okay, foiling is basically we install a rewinder and we allow the laminator to work with other consumables. Okay, you probably are aware of this. What we see here is silver matte, but you can have a lot of materials like foiling. I can show you. This would be two different ones: sparkling or hologramic, and silver gloss. Okay, but there is plenty of them. I'll show you a little bit what can be done on lamination. Okay, that would be the hot stamp, as I was telling to you. Okay, that will be also the hot stamp quality. Okay, or finishing. On double side or single side lamination, you have a lot of materials as well. This is you can. It's hard to show on camera, but this is what we call it's what is called soft touch. Okay, very nice on the feeling. These other two, for example, is sandy effect. So it's very sandy, as the name tells. Okay. There is also other stuff like texturized. So you don't really need to have a 3D effect machine not to do 3D effect. This is a texturized laminator, which gives you that nice look and feel. And there is even more, even packaging. This is silver, completely not transparent, completely transparent, completely metallized surface. Okay. So that would be the possibilities, the configurations. Probably the most interesting lately is this kind of output. Yes, it's hot stamp, but it's a little bit special. It's on top of a 3D UV spot print. Okay, this is quite difficult to achieve, and yes, it is possible with our equipment. Okay. In case we need this kind of solutions in our machine, we would use a different configuration. Okay. And last but not least, there is another configuration, another way to laminate, which is what we call windowing. You can see already, okay, a pre-die cut paper that we actually laminate on top, and we create a window. Okay, you can see the products through. This is possible thanks to a pressure roller that we installed, okay, which has a particular cover, okay, that is made of a non-sticky surface. Currently, we're working with Teflon. Okay, we're experimenting with other materials, but this is one of the most interesting solutions that we have at the moment. Okay, so you can see there is a lot of options and possibilities on top of lamination, right? So, but why? So that makes already the to have a look on these solutions already worth it. But why choosing Bagel upon other solutions in the market? There are a few reasons for it. The first one is the construction. Okay, the way we construct is on a platform basis. Okay, if you look at the machine, you see a very solid structure and a platform on the bottom, and then we construct everything from the ground. Okay, this allows us, to have a machine that it's easy to transport, not only from our factory to the end customer, but eventually on relocations. Okay, another thing is the electronics. Let me show you real quick. The electronics that we use are at 100% elements, electronic components from a firm originally from Japan called Omron. It's one of the top 5 worldwide electronic suppliers. Only a few items like these ones They are from another supplier, but just because they don't have it, actually, this kind of switches. The reason being behind all this is we want to, want to deliver a solution that has the highest integration in their components as much as possible. Okay, so that secures a much better quality and performance of the machine. Another aspect that is quite unique is the heating system. Okay, the heating system is a chrome roller with oil inside. Okay, why oil inside is very important. First, let me tell you that it's the only one in the market that provides on the B3 on the digital segment that provides oil heating systems. The reason being is there are many. One is it's very stable temperature oil, so temperature doesn't fluctuate that much as opposed to other systems. It's a liquid, so the heat distribution is very efficient. It distributes everywhere in the same level. And well, it's also oil keeps energy longer, so it saves you energy in your production plant. Okay, and one thing that people tend to forget: oil is it's a liquid that protects all the elements inside of the heating system. So, in other words, we're basically delivering a machine that the heating system is going to almost last for life. Okay, because oil protects everything inside, keeps it in shape, keeps it in fit. Okay. Other reasons why this machine is unique is the pressure system. Pressure system, I cannot show you straight away, but pressure system is the same configuration as the bigger laminator product from this one, the D52. Okay, so you have very much the same pressure. Okay, it's a lot of pressure. And one thing that is also interesting that is a little bit hidden, it's actually the way our photocell works. Normally this is a photocell over here that allows you to to control whether there is paper or not. Okay, and when there is no paper, it stops. Okay, but sometimes you have false readings. Actually, more times than you wish. Okay, so not in this machine, in all machines. So what we do is we actually apply a special software for this matter and avoid false readings. Okay, so basically the machine is much more fluid in their production without the worry of I forgot to sell or whatever. Okay, and well, it's important also the expansible shaft. Okay, I think I'll show you later. Before the video, but let me just show you this again. Basically, to take it out and to take it back is quite easy. Okay? It's just a matter of removing, removing the film just like this. Okay. So there you go. You have it. So all these features makes this machine, quite something else compared to what is in the offer around the world. Okay. Now, one last thing that is very interesting from Bagel. Okay. Here in Bagel we are committed to quality. We're committed to innovation. Okay. And because quality matters for us, every year we make improvements. These improvements are based on feedback from our clients. Okay. So in 20 we actually made three new outputs. Okay. The first one is the motor of the Holstein. Okay. Now this solution is much more refined, much more automated. Okay. So now we are delivering the solutions. The customers are, they are more satisfied with this rewinder. Okay, it's more intuitive at the end of the day. The other thing is actually this micro perforator. Okay, the previous one was good, but this one actually is much more refined, makes cutting much more fluidly. Okay, and finally, is actually the holding rollers here, but also on the other side. I'll show you real quick. these holding rollers also over there. Okay, basically you can tell they are extremely robust. It's very important they are extremely robust because sometimes the machine has vibrations and you need to absorb them. Okay, and this is they take it very well over many hours. Okay, also they are adjustable, so eventually if the paper is thicker or thinner, can be easily adjusted. Okay, so there you go. You can see, you you see pretty much the solution. Well, I hope you have liked it, that that you find it interesting. So thank you very much for watching. If you have arrived to this point of the video, and if you have any questions, let me know, and we'll be happy to assist you on your doubts. Thank you.
You can speak. Jordi, thank you very much for that incredible demonstration on the Minilam, which is a B3 digital sheet format for doing single-sided and duplex. It'd be good to reiterate again how you showed in the demonstration the air shaft for the film mandrels, the very ease of use that the client has, their operator for taking the rolls of film off and back on. Everything is all about time and productivity, and we can do rapid changeovers with that air shaft technology that's only available through Bagel Systems in that format, isn't it?
I think you're muted, Jordi.
You hear me now?
Yes.
These new technologies for me, I'm getting a little bit old. No, it's as I was saying. Yes, for us it's very important to have easy to use features and very stable, very robust. Okay, so that's what we aim. We don't have to miss the point. The printers generally they have not so much time for learning. They want to do the job, and maybe they have a different operator over time. So all the things make it more easy and easy. It makes a difference.
One of the things that I think I tried to point out in the DigiFab demo that I did before, and you showed in the Minilam demo, was how Bagel Systems is so keen on making a clean user interface. So I come from the side where I've actually run a lot of production equipment, and quite often there's an array of knobs and buttons and things you have to do. Even after you start the machine on some competitive equipment, you have to engage pull rollers, you have to set burst timing, things like that. So the dedication that Bagel Systems has shown to a user experience so that operators throughout the shop can move between machines. If they can run a smartphone, they can run the machine, come up, press auto. To me, that's just amazing. So that's something that a lot of times when you're looking at a spec sheet on a machine, you can overlook really easily because, this is the sheet format, this is the speed, but that's so important that in shops we see today, operators are becoming less and less experienced as younger people come in to the industry, and having a push button machine is absolutely phenomenal advantage.
Yeah, I agree on your statements, I must say. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what we have here for Q&A. On the duplex unit, Jordi, we have a question about, does that limit the speed in any way on the machine when we're running two-sided laminating with the duplex?
We are, okay, on duplex, we guarantee 10 meters per minute. Okay, depends on the work. Can go a little bit up or a little bit lower. Okay, the reason being is because we are dealing with a silicone roller that has trouble to pass through the heat. Okay, but nevertheless we make sure that the heating system can handle at least 10 meters per minute.
Yeah, that's a great question, but I think it goes to the point that you made before about there's a difference between mechanical speed and operating speed. And so what we see a lot of the times is that, you know, mechanical speed seems important when we're maybe comparing machines, but actual true productivity is the numbers that really matter. So that's great. The other thing with the two-sided, I just want to point out is that a lot of times the thin films that we're applying with a single-sided laminator are difficult to apply with a conventional two-sided encapsulating machine because they're so thin. So having this solution where it's a duplex laminator, but it's designed around single-sided technology ensures that we get smooth output and we get a really nice finish on the films. So there's, you know, when you're dealing with, say, a Soft Pro OPP, the film doesn't have a lot of structure. So people out there with experience trying to run that on an encapsulating machine, they'll get decent results, but oftentimes they'll struggle with it. So this machine, because it's designed as a single-sided laminator and has very hard rollers, including the top chrome roller, we can get excellent duplex output with a thin film, like a Soft Pro OPP based film. So sorry to go on a diatribe about duplex laminating, but I think it's really important in the Minilam. We've seen great success with that.
Yeah, we found at the beginning when developing the duplex version that the quality on the bottom on some solutions out there it was not as good as on the top. So right from the beginning we committed to a solution that would have the same quality on top than on the bottom. And actually we can say that. So in line with what you're saying, Bob.
Brad, you got any questions from up there on the Minilam or on the DigiFab that we saw?
I just wanted to, one of the things, Jordy, that's really impressed us with Bagel in general is the way you, as a company, are developing new products and always working to develop a product for our customers, someone to fill a need. Tell us a little bit more about what your R&D, how you guys are always working to develop new products.
Okay, for us, one moment. Sorry, I had some issues with my computer and my phone. Unfortunately, everything is so connected that it's very difficult sometimes to unplug some stuff. So yeah, well, basically, I mean, it's for us as a European manufacturer. You know yourself, we cannot compete on cost and on very cheap products because it's not possible. Okay, I think it's a little bit the same situation in the US. I mean, you have to play a proactive role on innovation. Okay, so from the very start, even though that we are certainly kind of new in the market, we commit to that. Okay, so basically, you know, we do produce equipment, laminating equipment, but we try to find, you know, solutions that maybe are not invented, are not yet there, okay? And we jump in, okay? Because once we develop the solution, there will be a benefit, there will be a market for us. And maybe later on, there will be others, but won't have the experience that we will be building up, okay? So today, you know, in nine years, we developed actually, you know, B3 solutions, B2 solutions. So that's offset, a crossover of offset and digital. Also, 70 by 100 P1 solutions. You know, purely production for packaging solution industries. Okay, but we are going into a step ahead. Okay, we are innovating on technologies for cutting. As you know, we don't only develop our own, but we also leverage, you know, like you guys were saying, you know, never fly solo. We leverage on suppliers actually quite active in Barcelona for cutting technologies on the printing industry. Okay, there is a lot of tradition, by the way, in Barcelona, in our region, on machinery, on graphic arts. So there is a lot of nice companies that we can you know, develop solutions together. Okay. So we have cutting solutions and also, you know, different kind of laminates. Recently, and probably we'll be talking about later, it's on foiling, on slicking, on 3D UV spot varnish. Okay, this is something that was not yet there. So we jumped in as early as we were aware of this need. Okay, but we also laminate. You know, we are digging in on solutions on cold lamination for printing, but also for multi-industry. Okay, so, and you know, slowly but surely, like a tank, we are, you know, we're arriving to all these fields and delivering, you know, innovative and quality solutions.
That's awesome, Jordy. Just from our own experience, we sold a number of your DigiFav units, and previously you did not have a restacker for it, the regular DigiFav, and you recently just launched a new restacker that will tie right in with the existing DigiFavs that are out there in the market. Really shows
That's right.
the way Bagel Systems is working to always continuously upgrade, utilizing the existing equipment to upgrade it to make it even better than what it is.
Yes, that's right. We try not to leave people aside. So if you have a DigiFab B2 and you want a stacker, we don't say, no, it's just, no, if this solution is not available, we make it, and we make it available for current, for new clients, but also for, you know, already installations. Good point, yeah.
I really appreciate the responsiveness that Bagel Systems partnership that we've had together. It's been great, and really the beneficiaries are all our clients through your technology. The one thing that I did want to point out specifically, as shown in the demonstration on the flagship DigiFav, the very unique system that it has for feeding the sheets in that format, where it allows both the tail end of the sheet and the front end of the sheet to be air suction, which is very important for any clients that want to flip and turn to utilize a single-sided laminator to laminate the back sides of the sheets. So it's important to know that the feeding technology that you've put into the DigiFav series makes it a phenomenal machine if you want to flip and turn sheets to put lamination on the backside.
John, I don't know, going through this chat, I don't know how I managed to go to the question window. So I saw a question about the statics. How do we manage statics, right? And actually, actually the feeding is one of the answers for this. Actually, the feeding from the DigiFab B2. If I look at all DigiFab B2's installations, not even one machine we installed anti-static device. Okay, and I got suppliers from Spain, also from Germany, explaining me all the benefits of setting up an anti-static device. And I just say to these guys, you know, man, I'm happy to put one, but I just don't. It happens. No one is asking for one. So, and one of the reasons is the feeder. Is you pick up the paper right at the front. And if there is of course there is a statics, you have to deal with it, but it's not really a big issue. Okay, so basically at the end of the day, end customers, they're just fine with the feeder on statics environment. Okay. John, having said that, we keep on developing. So there will be like, for example, right now, but this is a little bit. Out of the current solutions that we are offering, we laminate 2 layers, two layers of plastic. Okay, currently the DigiFab, it's paper and plastic. There is solutions that we are maturing on a layer of plastic on top of a plastic. Okay, these kind of solutions, they have heavy statics effects, extremely heavy. So there we're putting this kind of devices, and we're actually testing them. Okay. So
that's good, Jordy. And one of the things that we always suggest is that if people are dealing with a lot of static going into the lamination, if they can try dealing with that prior to lamination. So a lot of digital printers don't have any devices on them to control static, but it's very easy to retrofit. And it doesn't only help lamination, it helps anything post-press, which that pile needs to be fed into. So that's an area that's often overlooked. A lot of printer OEMs, hate to offend them, but they don't care about it. They don't do anything for their customers. So it's something that it's your responsibility as a print engine owner to deal with static on the end of the machine. And we can definitely help with that. It's not something that we a big line for us, but we have the solutions for lamination machines and we can retrofit them to almost any machine. Looks like we're about 12:32 here, Jordy. You had mentioned the 3D foil, and that's one of the more exciting things that we want to put forward today is the product line. So you alluded to it, the new machine. Why don't we take a few minutes and tell us about the machine, what the development is, what you changed, and then let's talk about the market fit. So who it's a good solution for, and then we have that demo that you did for us. So we'll roll that video after that. So go ahead and tell us a bit about the development on the Minilam 3D foil.
Sure. As you probably know, on the market, the printing, well, the digital printing, it's constant, on a constant evolution. Okay, and adding value to the paper print is getting more and more, more and more mature, more and more evolved, more and more ideas on the go. And one of these ideas have been not UV spot, but 3D UV spot, right? You have some brands out there that they're doing, Scodix, MGI, Duplex, Sense, this kind of equipment. They do this kind of effect, okay? And sometimes sometimes it's not so easy. Okay, it's not so straightforward to put foil on top. Okay, so we studied these cases. Okay, actually, few partners of us in Europe, they know a lot this kind of technologies. They have asked us whether there would be a solution from us, and at first we started studying to understand the what could have been possible. Okay, basically, out of these studies, out of these developments and discussions with customers and also machine dealers, we got a configuration that fits very well to this to this kind of output. Okay, and basically what we are doing is something relatively easy. Not, I wouldn't say easy, quite experimented in our case. Okay, as you know, we are dealing with yourself the Duplex machine. Okay, you have a heating roller on top, chromed, and a heating roller on the bottom, silicone. Okay, and with this means we're able to laminate double side. Basically, by changing the terms, so putting the one on the bottom on the top and the one on the top on the bottom, we actually realized that foiling, sleeking 3D UV spot is quite successful. Okay, there are already some machines out there, not fully automatic, semi-automatic, very short runs that starts to do this job. Okay, now the great potential of this Minilam B3 or Island Pro 3D foil, okay, is that you can do both applications. You can still laminate very much, and you can sleek 3D and also a standard sleeking very, very, very well. Okay, we already set our beta machine on this. Okay, that's the probably you will be presenting these videos. Okay, and we learned from this beta machine, and basically next week, maybe next one, we will finalize our first unit that is fully compatible, not only on foiling, but also on lamination. Okay, when I mean foiling, I mean 3D foiling. Okay, And well, first machines are shipping in Europe very soon, and well, we'll be having some happy customers around here. Okay. So that's about it. Tell me.
No, that's very exciting. So I think, why don't we go ahead and roll the video, if we could, on the 3D foil. It also includes a segment showing it laminating, and after that, we'll talk about why it's so important that it can do both of them. So go ahead and let's roll that video.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for that. So you can see by the video, it's a little bit hard to catch 100% what's going on there, but a couple things. Number one is that I like to point out is that a lot of these 3D UV machines out there in the marketplace, so there's quite a few names, so Scodex and MGR are two of the big guys. They offer machines with and without foil on press. Now, a few do not offer any foil at all, so that'd be like the Comfy Spotmatic, the Duplo DuoSense, the JetX. So what a lot of people don't realize is that any of this output generally looks best when it's put down on top of a lamination film. So our Soft Pro lamination film has been validated by all these companies that it will accept their UV printing. So at the start of the process, before you do any of this spot 3D effect, you need to laminate the sheets. Not always, but in most cases. And if it's not necessary as a requirement to run the job, a lot of times it's built into the design to put down a lamination on the sheet. So to have a machine that can effectively run the lamination side of the job and then also go back and foil on top of the 3D is a massive benefit. The second thing I want to point out is that feeding sheets with a raised bumpy 3D UV printing on top is a little bit of a challenge, but thanks to Bagel's feeding systems, that's no issue at all. And then the last thing is that it's probably obvious to everybody, but the challenge with doing foiling 3D UV is twofold. Number one, with a very hard chrome roller on the top in most traditional single-sided laminators, we're not going to access the curvatures of the 3D UV on the sides of where it's on. So we'll just hit the top of it. Number two is we got a phenomenal heat and pressure system on these machines which is great if you want to stick lamination down, but we've seen the effect on 3D UV in the past where it actually takes the structure of the 3D UV and flattens it out completely. And it looks distorted and just, it's not a nice result. So the special roller design of the 3D foil machine allows you to do laminating, allows you to do the foiling where it gets down right to the edges of the 3D foil. And obviously it doesn't smush the 3D UV out of the way. So people can be a lot more competitive, if you will. If they're going to put in a 3D UV machine, let's say like the DuoSense from Duplo, we've seen it very popular in the market. They're putting one of those machines, they're going to need a lamination system anyways. What they offer as an OEM is we've replaced a lot of them. It's quite frankly not a good solution. So we're really excited about this machine. We think there's a massive amount of opportunity in the marketplace for people to take on 3D and also have a machine to back them up for laminating as well. What do you think, John?
No, it's exciting technology that Bagel once again is bringing forward. It'll be the first of its kind that allows the full usage of traditional lamination and, as you say, to get a crisp and clean, sleek pro effect over top of a raised UV effect has been long sought after, and now we're pleased to announce through our partnership that it will be available soon. So exciting, very exciting news to be the leaders once again in this technology in this space. And as Bob, as you mentioned, some of this technology, ranges up into the 7-digit figures in the Scodex, fully set up, but we can do a lot of the very similar effects at a much lower cost of entry utilizing the Bagel technology.
So we see a lot of customers getting into this equipment. A lot of times they're getting it without getting the clear picture. But I just want to stress the point. Of course, it's beneficial to us, but really to do 3D UV effectively, you must have a commercial lamination system that you can put down the films that are needed to accept the UV. So what John just alluded to with the 7-figure Scodex system, amazing machine. If you have that in your plans, then congratulations, that's an amazing machine. We refer people to Scodex a lot, but for smaller shops, something like maybe a DuoSense and then a Minilam 3D foil gives them the complete package at a much, much lower cost of entry. I don't know, Jordy, does any of that make sense, what we just said?
Well, I couldn't explain it better. So, yes, it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. The fact that the bundle DuoSense and Minilam is price-wise is very, very attractive. So, and the quality is superb. I only have very good feedback from the DuoSense around the world. I know a lot of machine sales guys that they have introduced this unit, this solution, and these two machines would make a very, very good fit. Absolutely.
And Bob, is it worth mentioning at the moment how the Minilam and how the Bagel units will laminate the thicker stocks, up to 600 GSM. I think we had them. You had it going through, didn't you? It works. It opens up all new avenues in the packaging area to do raised print, raised products in the packaging area as well, doesn't it?
Special.
Yeah. So that was the DigiFab machine that's configured for packaging. So no problem at all. But that brings up a really valid point. We see people that look at the tools, if you will, the hardware, and say, what's my market for this? And you mentioned packaging, and that's absolutely a key area that we see growing very quickly. That's going to be a theme that we repeat throughout this event in the next 3 days, about what markets do things fit, what's the opportunity there. So with this solution, packaging and specialty finishing is really blown wide open. We've seen designers create everything from pocket folders to set-top boxes, even brochures, menus, you name it. It really adding dimension to print, that 3D feel, plus the foiling and the tactile lamination film is really applicable anywhere where a consumer interacts with a piece of print. So we're going to have Bill Gillespie on this afternoon and talk about print sales and overcoming objections. One of his big things is that being able to, nobody wants a drill, they want a hole. And so we're going to be with him later, but he told me an interesting story where he had all this equipment, and really it doesn't matter if you're not going out and finding the needs of the customer and showing them the possibilities. So packaging is huge, and we're seeing a lot of people take on these 3D UV printers and the foiling devices to open up new markets and new revenue streams for their print shop.
And we're seeing a lot of the print engine developers really paying attention to the packaging market, aren't we, Bob? The way the print engines are able to run thicker and thicker stocks all the time. It's incredible what we're seeing, isn't it?
It is. We did a Xerox presentation last week, I think it was, with a traditional folding carton company, and the ability to go digital is massive. And we know there's other OEMs out there that are getting up into the 450 and higher GSM range on digital print. So really the opportunity is here now that we can meet the needs of the packaging market digitally better than we ever have before.
And it's blowing that market wide open into what would typically have been the small format digital print shop is now, so we'll soon have print engines that are capable of doing packaging, printing, and it's exciting to see what the developments that are happening in the industry.
Yeah, that's really the end of the day. The clients are now able to open up a much wider vista opportunity for them with this technology now that used to only be available to, you might have said, the big boy shops. Now with the compact footprint of these devices, the relatively low cost of entry, there can be a lot of profitability in a very small shop now.
So just to reiterate, this is a product launch, if you will, but really it's just a new version of the Minilam, a new option, and the iLam Pro. And I just want to congratulate Bagel Systems on it, Jordy and your team there, because it's seeing the need in the marketplace, responding to it quickly, and the flexibility we have with our R&D team working with Bagel Systems directly to influence machine design. I don't think there's a manufacturer out there that, got to be careful what I say because a few of them might be on here, but it's amazing vendor relationship, and we really view Bagel Systems as a true partner in that regard. So thank you very much, Jordy.
Yeah, you're welcome, and thank you to you guys. What you have said, you got to say right. I mean, your technical guys, they are very, very knowledgeable on what is happening on your field, on your customers, and at the end of the day, our core focus is designing manufacturing equipment that as good as possible. But ideas comes from both sides, from the market and trying to make it real in our solutions. So it's a matter of both. So thank you also.
For the 3D foiling, what can you say about that duplexed?
The 3D foiling duplexed. So
question from the panel.
So you want 3D foiling and duplex lamination, is that right? So double side and 3D foil.
I think what the question is we talked about the Minilam duplex before.
Yes.
So will the 3D foil be available in a duplex version with top and bottom heated rollers?
Since it follows really the same principle. So yes, the answer is yes, but we need to first release the first version. Okay. So once we release the first version and we are able to do single side properly, 3D slicking 3D foil properly, then the next stage will be also duplex. It's not. I don't think it will be last. I don't think we'll be very far away. But we need to make step one after the other. Okay. So that is my answer.
No, that's a great answer, Jordi, because I think it's important. We need to walk before we run before we fly. And we've done this cycle with bagel systems quite a few times. So the answer, when you come to ScanDecor and ask, can we do something? Normally the answer is yes, but we'll try anything once, right? So no, that's a good answer to that question. Thank you.
So we just wanted to reiterate to our listeners that the 3D technology foiling is only available single-sided at this point. So we just want to make that clear with our clients, because some of the viewers saw the Minilam running applications duplex. So we want to make that clear that it is only single-sided 3D foiling at this point in that version machine.
Okay. And quite frankly, a lot of the 3D foil applications are single-sided anyways. So, in packaging design, it's one-sided usually. So it'd be rare that we'd have to do that. But the ability to duplex laminate and do that down the road would be very welcome. So take notes, Jordi.
Yes.
That's what the market's looking for. Anything else from the North panel on bagel systems before we take a break for lunch in about 7 minutes?
I don't have any questions. I think everything's been covered, but I'd just like to thank Bagel for their forward thinking and how much they have developed just since we have come on board as a North American distributor for them. As a sales rep for ScanDecor, my focus is helping my customers move to that next step. And we normally find as a sales rep, the way to help them move to that next step is by coming out with something new, maybe holding a new product out that sets them apart from the competition, which takes them to that next level. And with bagel systems, the level of not only automation and quality, which helps them out in a big way, it also brings a new level of products to their line and allows them to feed difficult stocks, those unique stocks that sets them apart from the competition. And yeah, I couldn't say enough about Bagel and just the level of automation and quality that they bring to us. It's awesome to have you guys on board. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so I don't see any more questions coming in at all, but I think with that, Jordi, we know it's getting late in Spain.
No worries, no worries.
We wish we were in Barcelona, but we're glad to be here as well. But
sometime you will. Sometime you will be trying to Barcelona. We will be traveling to New York at some stage.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's great. So I think we're a little bit ahead of schedule here by about 5 minutes, which is actually, I think it's a good thing with a few technical hiccups that we had throughout the day. But I think at this point, if we can let Jordi off the hook, he can go to bed, and we'll take a half-hour break for lunch, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody back on this afternoon. We got a couple great sessions. Number one, we're going to blow apart the digital signage floor graphics with a presentation from Kern Now. We're going to be rolling into as I mentioned earlier, Bill Gillespie from Bennett Graphics will be on, answering your print sales objections live. And then we're going to talk about high value films. So we have an amazing afternoon session. We appreciate everybody being on this morning. Thank you very much, Jordi. And with that, I think we'll close off now. See you all again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jordi.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you soon.
Thank you. Speak soon.